So we'll make sure we give you a quick update of both tools just to give you a good understanding. So why don't we go ahead and get started? And why don't you let us know in the chat what is one of the top things you'd love to walk away learning today, whether you use FMG, Holistiplan, or both. If there's something you want to see from either Tori and Holistiplan or me and FMG, or how you can just better market this service in your business, let us know in the chat. We would love to hear that as we're diving in. Oh, I'd be remiss if I don't mention this. So Holistiplan and FMG have worked together to let you, the last couple years, we've created an email that you can use to communicate with clients or prospects about the power of tax planning and looking at your tax return. And so we have this email that we created together, and everyone on today's session is going to get it automatically for free. You'll have a Word doc that you can copy and paste into your email provider. And it's just a great email that really allows you to talk with clients in a simplistic way about why looking at their tax return is so powerful, and share a little bit of that insight. So everybody here will be getting that after today's session as well. Tori, what are people in the chat saying they most want to learn? Are you looking?
Yeah, there's some really great conversations here. Again, they just want to understand the simplicity of both platforms, how they could use both our platforms together, how to communicate the value of tax planning to clients, which we will absolutely be diving into. Yeah, how to coordinate better using FMG. Yeah, so the common theme is like communication to their clients about tax planning in general.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So before we get started, just a little bit, I guess I know Tori and I plan to demo some things for you further, but since I saw a couple questions, I'm just gonna quickly say, FMG, if you've never heard of us before, we are an all-in-one marketing platform that allows you to market your business. We specifically work with financial advisors, and you can do everything from email marketing, social media marketing, manage your website. There's AI tools baked in under our products here. You can see a lot of the different things, events, all the good stuff we can do. And we'll be sharing more about that in just a minute. But Tori, let me think I'm on the right page. Oh, that's the referral program. Here we go. Quick overview of what Holistiplan is.
Yeah, so we're a tax planning solution software for financial advisors. We make it really easy for you to start having that really hard conversation about tax planning needs with your clients. We create it in a very simplistic way with our tax report. So you, the advisor, collect that tax return from your client, upload it into our system, and in about 45 seconds, you've got this amazing report to go over with your client about their tax planning needs that they want. At the bottom of the report, there are these observations. That's where that tax planning piece really starts, opens up that conversation of what they could take advantage of, what they could be doing better in, and then diving deeper into the platform, there's the scenario analysis tool where you bring those observations to life. So like the portfolio management tools that my guess is most of you are using, like the eMoneys of the world, that's Holistiplan scenario analysis is doing just that, but it's on the tax planning side. So building out those different scenarios for the client to see in real time what that tax planning need may look like for them, just like you would be building out different portfolio options in your portfolio management tool.
Awesome. And once you see, either of these tools, I think in real time, it's very easy to get excited about all the possibilities of how you can use them in your business. So our plan was to just first talk about how you can incorporate more of the messaging about how you help clients with taxes to market your business better. So we're going to start there. I understand that not everybody's already doing this, and we're going to show you how you can do it with Holistiplan and FMG as we go through, but that's where we're going to start today. So keep the questions coming as you think of them, and we'll answer as many as we can in real time. So the first thing we just want to point out is, if you already are doing this, this is something that clients increasingly want. They want a firm that is going to play point on all of this so that they're not being the go-between between the CPA and the advisor, right? So the more that anything that you offer around this, if you have a CPA on staff or you are a CPA, talk about that. If you do play point and coordinate, if you have a process, if you use Holistiplan, it should be something that's absolutely on your website. And this is just a great example. I have all of these linked, by the way, so you'll be able to click on any of these slides and go direct to these websites. But having an entire page about it is such a great idea too. Let's see if I get, there we go. So here's one from Fortress Wealth Group. They're an FMG client of ours, and you can see, right, they have customized tax solutions for personal and business. So they talk about how they help both, what the key features are, the benefits of working with them. And then I also love this FAQ. Tori, I know we're always all hearing a lot more about AI and writing for voice search, things like that. And having an FAQ section is such a great way to speak to those, the way that people actually ask questions to those bots. So this is a great way to do it. If you're using Holistiplan, I'm going to show you next. It also is a great idea to include a little bit about the software and how you can use it to actually help them.
Yeah, and I think it's important too, especially as you're going to go to the next website, that FAQ, clients don't know what they don't know, right? They know that tax planning is important, but they don't know how to ask those questions of like, do you offer the service? Do you like, they don't even know how to ask that question, right? So being able to be upfront on your website saying, we offer tax planning, and here are the questions that a lot of our clients have come to us with, just gives them that sense of like, okay, you are hearing me, even though I haven't said the words out loud. I
Yes,
think it's
100%.
really important.
And allows them to, really self qualify in a lot of ways. This
Mm-hmm.
is another example of a website. I'm just going to pull up here, Arise Private Wealth. And so they have this industry partners page where they've listed out all the different tools that they use. And I love this explanation here, Tori, of how they explain Holistiplan and why the importance of getting that, tax, the tax return, excuse me, and what can really be gleaned from it. And then they even went one step further, though. They have this other page where they've listed out just all of these tax planning resources. So tax, season at a glance, IRS tax and contribution guide. So you really can build this out to be as robust or just as general as you need to be. And I'm sure, Tori, you guys have seen people do it a lot of different ways. There's no just one right way.
Yeah, no, again, I think whatever fits your business is how you need to like market your website, right? Your website is the face of your business. But I do love when advisors, it used to be where everyone wanted to white label the technology. They didn't want their clients to know they're using technology to
Okay.
like build out these scenarios for them. And I love that advisors are really starting to hone in and saying that they are using technology and here are the partners that we've chosen, because it gives validity to what they are doing. Clients nowadays understand the power of technology, whether it's, their Netflix account or DoorDash. I've been living off DoorDash here at the hotel, right? Like you have these technologies and apps in your world every single day, and being able to tell clients, yes, I use technology. You're staying, current and relevant. And these are the partners that I've chosen to help run my business. I think it's a really cool like shift that we've been seeing in the last few years.
Yeah, and I think people think like, oh, if AI is if they're running through this technology that's also
Yes.
using AI, they're not going to miss anything. Versus if a human does it, there's a chance for human error and that sort of thing. I saw a question come
Yeah.
in that asks, should they put kind of like a sample scenario or anything like that on the website? So that's really timely because on this site, which we've linked to and we're going to show you, I love the way this advisor does it. He has an intro to how he uses Holistiplan. He says, while we cannot provide tax advice, we've partnered with Holistiplan to help us better analyze tax returns to generate a concise deliverable. And I know that's a question, Tori, right? You get asked about a lot. Do you want to speak to that
Yes.
maybe to people who are concerned from a compliance standpoint?
Yeah, we very much fall on the side of tax planning, right? We're not giving any advice. We're not completing the tax returns for them. We tell them like you need to be working with a tax professional to like implement. So these are just plans. Like I want to look at, what it would mean if I did a Roth conversion. We're not telling you should do the Roth conversion, right? Just like when you're building out those portfolio options in your portfolio management tool, you're giving them 3 different portfolios to decide, how they want to model their accounts and resources. That's exactly what we're doing, right? We're giving them the resources to make informed decisions, and the client sits in the driver's seat of what's going to be implemented.
So if this is something you're worried about, hopefully that helps give you a good sense of how to think about it. Feel free to ask in the Q&A box where only Tori and I will see, or in the chat if you want everyone to see how you've thought about it, or if there's any compliance roadblocks that you've run into. I'm sure Tori can help troubleshoot those, or her team can. But let's keep looking at this example. So what he actually has done is, I'm sure Holistiplan provides this, right? That you have
Right.
these samples in your technology, and he pulled it up and just using Loom, you can use Loom, Veed, Aubrey, if you would put, Aubrey's behind the scenes from our team, if you'd put Loom and Veed in the chat as 2 technologies people can try, they allow you to record your screen and yourself, and you can walk through a scenario to actually, demonstrate the value of what someone would get if they use this, or if they allow you to analyze their tax return. And I think this video, again, I've linked to it so you guys can watch it as an example. It's like 2 minutes long, and he's just going through a sample scenario, but it really demonstrates the power of what insight it gives the advisor beyond just what the client's telling them.
Yeah, and it brings it to life, right? Because again, before I worked at Holistiplan, we would file our taxes. I'd pray about what the outcome would be. I look at it once. I don't even review it. Like I don't know what it means, right? Look at it once and move on, and then come back to it a year later, right? So he's actually bringing to life what that return and what does that actually look like if you work with an advisor that does tax planning. So I love video, and he makes it very simple. Like they don't need to be complicated videos. They don't have to have like the best setup. Like you could literally, like you said, use Loom or Veed and quickly have this video done in 2 minutes.
Yes, 100%. So if you are going to, talk about this on your website, because we know so many clients, I didn't put this chart in here again, but there's a great chart that talks about what do clients actually want to receive service-wide from their advisor versus what are they actually getting. And most people are getting investment advice, like 90%. It's like almost 90% getting financial planning. But then the number of people who say they want help with tax planning or guidance versus who are getting it from their advisory firm, there is such a gap. So if this is something you do and somebody's looking at a couple different advisors and you have a big section of your website on this, you want to capture those leads that are coming to check you out. So we at FMG, again, if you have your website with us, you can easily turn on these different downloadables. So we've already created this, how to avoid these 6 common tax errors, downloadable. You put this pop-up on your website, and now you can collect people who are not yet maybe ready to book a meeting with you, but they're just checking out your website, can collect their email, and then you can continue to drip relevant tax-related content on them, put them in a group in your CRM in FMG that just is all the people that have come in through this lead capture. And then we have a ton of content, which I'm going to show you in the library about taxes, some of it written with Holistiplan, our friends at Holistiplan, and you'll be able to drip on them. So again, it's really this whole lead funnel, all based on what we know people want more help with, their taxes. Okay. And then just as a follow-up to that, this is just another screenshot from the library. I think one of the things that often happens is maybe it's around tax season and you're getting a lot of people talking about this, but you don't actually then create a funnel to keep up with those people. And that is a huge marketing mistake. So we wanted to make it, again, really easy for you. So if you add any of our downloadables at FMG, we also have this thank you for downloading email that drips on them right after they download it, or you can set it to go out, a little bit after. And so, it says, thank you for downloading common tax errors. Since you've taken an interest, we wanted to share a little bit about who we are. And then you're able to add in the different details about what you do. This would be a great place to put, we, use Holistiplan technology to analyze tax returns and blah, blah, blah. So you're able to customize this email however you want. But this, again, is such a great way to, if you are using Holistiplan, to follow up with somebody and explain that value of using that technology. Okay, before we go into email, were there any questions or comments that came in, Tori, we need to address? Or are we good to keep going?
Um, there's a couple of in here for FMG talking about how do they set it up using the content for their website. Some people have a website built, but they have an FMG subscription. Their website's not
Oh,
through.
okay. Yeah,
So can
let
they
me just
use
show
the
you. I'll
content?
just
All of
show
that.
you. Yeah, good questions before we dive into that. So if you're with FMG and you want to add any of the CTAs or anything to your website, if you have a website with us, you'll be able to manage your website right here from the dashboard. You also are able to use our email, social, and events and automated marketing tools without having a website with us, or you can just purchase a website and not the other tools. So it's not a bundle. You can put it all together, or you can do it separately. If you have a website and you want to add those types of pop-ups that we just talked about, you'll just need to be on a premium plan, or you can upgrade to one in order to add those. So with the premium, there comes a lot of other things. Feel free to let us know. Maybe put it in the Q&A box, like, hey, I want to talk to someone at FMG about upgrading my site or getting a website with you all. And we'll reach out to explain what your options are. But that is how you would do it. And we have a ton of different downloadables as well that you can gate. So it would just be here under downloadables. You can see there are over 2,000 pieces in there that you can use. So these are coming up with immediately like all different ones that we have. But the web content would be the ones that you can gate and then people can download. So under web content here is what you can turn into different pop-ups. And if you want to learn more specifically about the products, here under FMG, we have this 20-minute consult, and we will be happy to walk through either your plan if you're a current customer, if you're not, show it more, more of the options to you. I'm trying to see if there was another question. Oh, and somebody asked about
Yeah.
our for me option. I will go into that a little bit later.
And then Nick quickly asked where this email template is living. So I know we're going to email it out, but
Yes. So if
if
you
you're
are
an
an
FMG,
if you're an FMG customer, it is going to be under our exclusive content. So for people who are part of the Do It For Me program, it's going to be right here under the exclusive content. If you're not a part of our Do It For Me program, you will need to copy and paste it from the doc we're going to send out and just put it into an email. So typically what only our highest level customers would get this, but we're giving it to everybody who signed up here today. Okay, so that takes us to the next way we want to talk about messaging with taxes, which is in emails. So Tori, this actually comes from the Holistiplan marketing toolkit that you all have, which I know we're going to talk a little bit more about, but this can be used in both social posts and emails, right?
yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly what we intended it to be, right? Simple, small, bite-sized pieces that you can easily market that you are offering tax planning. So that's, again, this marketing kit is already preloaded in your Holistiplan accounts if you are a Holistiplan user. So yeah, you just download. They are created in Canva. So you are actually able to download these items into your if you have Canva account, download them and customize them to match your fonts, your logos, all of that good stuff. But yeah, this is exactly what you said. You can use them in your email campaigns, but this is supposed to be really meant for like that social aspect of marketing that you're doing tax planning.
And I just wanted to show if you are utilizing Canva, when you want to create, any kind of social posts with FMG, we actually have a direct integration with Canva. So if you connect your Canva account and you had your Holistiplan created graphic with your logo on it, you could actually use you could just pull it in with our Canva integration. Oh, I better go to the other way here, post on social media. And so you'll just right here under design and image in Canva, you'll connect your Canva account and you can pull it in. So we make it even easier if you're using Holistiplan's specific pieces to pull it into FMG. That's just another way we're partnering together. Okay. And then again, this was the email that we already talked about. I just think one of the things that, not all clients, it's interesting. I mean, I've always worked with an advisor who's asked for my tax return every year, but I'm sure, Tori, you could speak to this more, like how common is it for advisory firms to just routinely have the tax return for every single client?
Yeah, so it's interesting that we've kind of been tracking this for the last several years, and the ask is getting easier and easier for advisors to get that collected. But before this, it wasn't very common for advisors to collect it because they didn't know like how to talk about tax planning. They didn't feel confident in talking about tax planning, so they didn't want to collect it because they weren't going to do anything with it.
Yeah,
So they're kind of just like, I'm going to all intents and purposes, be the ostrich, bury my head in the sand about tax planning. Like I'm not going to talk about it. So I'm not going to collect anything. But as clients have been requesting more and more about their needs and wants about tax planning, the ask is getting easier and easier because they're kind of more aware that their advisor is going to ask for it. Also, a lot of advisors have been doing a really great work dripping on their clients about the importance of sending this information to them and why they want that information to be sent so that they can offer this service to them. So advisors are getting really great at as marketing the why behind what they're
yeah.
doing. So that I think again, like these email campaigns to clients going out, mid-year and end of year to understand, why are we collecting this? Why is this time of year the time that you're asking for me to get this return back? So it's been an interesting cycle to see advisors really come into their own around tax planning and asking for the returns.
Well, I think this may be a good time maybe to pull up Holistiplan and just do
Sure.
a quick little demo because we had a couple people asking, do you offer tax planning for businesses as well as individual? And can you analyze things like corporate returns and trust returns?
Yeah, those are great questions. So currently right now it's just individual returns. We are working through doing business returns. I don't have an ETA on that. I think my product team would hate me if I actually
Yeah.
gave like a hard and fast date. But no, we have heard many, many times that it would be great to do business returns. But right now it's just individual. Let's
So
see.
I
So
need to
I'm going
stop sharing
to
so you can share. Yeah.
yeah, okay, perfect. So yeah, as we start building out more of the product, there'll definitely be the option for business returns. Can you guys see my screen? We see
We
our
can, yeah.
giant, this is our planning puffin. So
So
this is
cute.
Pete the planning puffin. So this is when you log into Holistiplan, this is like the welcoming dashboard, right? So here you're going to see right off the bat all of the webinars that we do as a firm. So all of them are here for you to easily register for and get locked in on all content Holistiplan. On the right hand side, you're going to see our most popular webinars. And then if you scroll just a little bit farther than that, you're going to see all of the product updates. So you will see this channel, especially during tax planning season. The government loves to make updates and amendments to tax code in the middle of tax planning season. And so our team is always super busy between January and April getting all those updates in. So you, the advisor, have the most current tax code in your system. If a tax code is updated, our team is typically on it within the first 24 to 48 hours of that amendment being out. So team works really, really fast and really, really hard to make
That's
sure you
amazing.
guys all look, yeah, you guys all look like superstars. So I wanted to quickly show under the tools and resources, this is where you're going to find that marketing kit to download. If you are with a broker dealer like LPL, they have their own specialized marketing kit. So you just need to email into our support team at support@holistiplan.com to request that marketing kit, and then we'll send you the compliance approved marketing kit for your broker dealer. So, but if you are not part of one of those broker dealers, your marketing kit is right here under tools and resources. So quickly, I'm going to hop into our households. So this is where you would create a household for your client. You can see we do have those integrations with your CRMs, Wealthbox and Redtail. So you can see these. I pulled these clients through on that. But let's pull up Katie and Eddie Smith. So here is what a client dashboard would look like. we really only need three data points in order for you to get started. First, last name, the state, and their date of birth. That's all the information that you need to plug in as an advisor. If you're pulling this in through your CRM, it'll auto pull over for you, so you wouldn't have to enter in any information. So you can import your clients here, like I mentioned, and then you're just going to click upload. You can upload up to the last 5 years of the returns for the clients. You're going to pick the most current year. So again, already in tax planning season, that kicked off January 31st, and our team had 2024 ready for you on February 1st to start uploading. So you're going to click 2024, drag and drop the file in, and in about 45 seconds, you're going to have this amazing report. I have not received the return for Eddie and Katie, so we are going to look at the 2023 here. But as this report is pulling up, and my hotel internet doesn't fail me, you're going to see the right off the bat, these key figures boxes. So quickly and easily, you're able to quickly see what this return has done for the clients for that year and kind of hop into that. And as you go down, it's going to break down layer by layer that return. We have updated this report. So as of January 1st, this is the brand new report that it looks like. We heard from advisors, they wanted it to be more interactive, more charts and graphs for their clients to really understand, and not just a bunch of numbers on a piece of paper. So we took all that to heart and redesigned the tax report for you guys and for the clients. So again, very interactive. You can hover over these sections to kind of see what they all mean. You're going to see that it's going to highlight what marginal tax brackets the clients are falling into for each of these. So this one happens to be for ordinary income. What is their marginal tax bracket for that? What is that threshold for that bracket? And then where the client is sitting for that. So again, we try to make it very simplified for you, the advisor, to go through with your client. We break down Medicare Part B's and D's, Schedule A's, Schedule B. So again, every single line of that return is here, but it's very simple and digestible for you and the clients to go over. And I'm going to scroll through this pretty quickly to get down to these observations. So these are those observations I was talking about. This is where that tax planning conversation really starts. So you can see one of these says you're in the 22% marginal tax bracket. Depending on your age and income projections, you might want to consider a Roth conversion. So you can start opening up that conversation with your client. Hey, does a Roth conversion make sense? Should we model that out for you? All of that good stuff. So you're able to add notes here for them. If you ran this report before your clients came into the office and you're like, you know what, I don't even want to touch Roth conversions this time with my client, you can actually hide these from them so they can't see it when you print it, just so you are really driving the conversation for the client and yourself. Once you go through that, like I mentioned, the scenario analysis is where you're going to bring those observations to life. So you'll be able to plug in those different scenarios you want. You can build up to 100 scenarios per client, which we know sounds wild. We don't want you to build 100. We just wanted you to make sure you had enough room to be able to build what you wanted. So again, the first scenario is always going to be that current tax year, that tax return that you have in there. And then after that, you get to build out each one that you would like. So you could instead of having to like recopy all of this data in, you could just choose if you'd like to copy that data over from what year's tax returns. We also have the option for you to have current tax law or no sunset in 2026. So we don't have a crystal ball. We're not really sure what is going to happen with the tax credits that are on right now. So right now I have all of mine set for current law, but maybe you're an advisor that is hedging bets and you don't think that those are going to sunset in 2026. So you're able to toggle those on and off. So again, open the conversation up about, what does the tax planning landscape look like for your client? So that's what you're going to do in scenario analysis tool to be able to kind of bring those observations to life.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tori.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously there's so much power in this tool and so much more it could do. We have more marketing tips to get back to for you all. So in the interest of time, we're going to go back to them. But if you would like Holistiplan to reach out to you and give you a more robust demo, you can also put that in the Q&A. Just put your name and I want a demo of Holistiplan and we will get that set up for you. I also just wanted to point out, sometimes the most simple emails and content are the most popular. So at FMG last year, we're always tracking what's really going over well. This was one of the most popular emails advisors sent, when to expect your 1099. And they loved it because you all said you loved it because all the time, right? You're having people email you saying, when am I supposed to get this 1099, or when will I get this or that? So we updated this again for this year. A lot of people use it again. But this is just an example of the type of content that can perform really, really well for you all. And I'm going to show you also how some really simple kind of content can perform so well on social media, but also remind people that you are here helping them with tax planning. So again, the whole idea of all of this is, if you don't talk about it, how are people supposed to know it's a service that you offer and that you can help with? And we all know that clients are not always choosing somebody because they're thinking about the future, right? We as human beings are not really good at just planning for the future. We're really focused on the pain points we have right now. And taxes are a pain point that come up year after year, every year. And so marketing focused on current pain points and what brings someone in the door is a really good strategy. So this is a great post. Do you think your tax rate will be higher in the future? And it incorporates a cool chart from Y Charts. This is the kind of post that's in the FMG library that, it has a chart. It's written out to be what we call zero-click content. So it's very meaty. It gives people something to respond to. But these are the kinds of things that, help people in their mind focus on the idea that you're considering these things when you're doing their financial plan. But you can also make it even more specific to their niche. So I've seen people talk about tax planning consideration for Microsoft employees or for people with a certain tech stock. In this particular one, it's how to file taxes the first year after divorce. So pairing both taxes with your specific niche is also a really good strategy. And then if you don't follow Dave Zoller already, he's a fantastic person to follow in terms of an advisor who's doing marketing really well. And he has these great quick little videos he'll do. I love the one on the right. I've used this as an example before. Can I deduct golf if I discuss business? Because he's playing into the idea of, what are people on social media for? They don't really go there to think, I need a new tax strategy. But if you're teaching them something and also entertaining them, mentioning something that's going to impact their day-to-day life, you're going to get eyeballs and people sharing and paying attention. So he had 41 comments on this post about, if you're going out and playing golf in Chicago in early spring, can you deduct that golf game? If you have FMG, we have a mobile app. So many of our clients still do not have this downloaded or are using it yet, which is a shame because it's amazing. There's all these different articles in there, and you can choose an article and have AI help you write that first draft of your caption, which you can then either use or keep editing. I trained it to write the captions based on what we know our best social media practices. So if you are a customer of FMG, you get this for free. So you can just hit that QR code or search in the App Store. And again, this is just a great way if you're already, planning out your social media posts and you want to supplement some of your original content with a great story, maybe about tax season in, the Wall Street Journal. You're able to choose those articles. You can also look for ones that are not, what is that called? Gated, and then have AI help write the captions for you. Okay. So keep those good questions coming. I see we have a lot coming in, which is awesome. One of the things that people I don't think do enough around taxes are events. So I just wanted to give a little case study here. This is my friend Isaac. He runs Cordant Wealth. And maybe you can tell us in the chat, have you ever done a webinar or an in-person presentation and incorporated any kind of tax planning in the topic, and how did it go? So what Isaac has done is he specifically works with certain employees of certain companies, Microsoft being one, and he put on this event, 5 hidden tax strategies for Microsoft employees. If you go to his LinkedIn, you'll see, and you click on events, he's doing these all of the time. But in 18 to 24 months, he had over 1,000 people register for this. He ran it multiple times with a 40% attendance rate and almost 10% of people then reaching out afterwards to connect with him. He led to 9 new client households and 11 million in AUM with just $12,000 in ad spend promoting these to highly targeted audience. So again, if you're thinking about what is a topic that will get butts in the seats for events, taxes are such a good one, especially for very specific demographics. And LinkedIn is such a fantastic tool because, again, when you're hosting an event, what a lot of people do is they use the list that they already have. Well, you're not going to get fresh blood just by emailing the lead you already have. But with LinkedIn, you can use their advanced filtering to get highly, highly specific. We have some previous webinars that I've done, like 1 hour LinkedIn advanced strategies that we can link to in the chat and in the follow-up. But this is such a fantastic way to pair what you're helping people do with tax planning with an event that's going to drive new blood.
Yeah, and I think it's so interesting too that he works with Microsoft employees, and the way that he strategized that using LinkedIn by based off like their employer. So like I think that's so smart using LinkedIn because the employees are, part of Microsoft and being able to target that. It's just an interesting way to look at it, right? I would have never thought about using LinkedIn as like a strategy to gain new clients, but really we've all posted where we're working. It's a huge lead gen for advisors to kind of say, okay, I want to work with millennials in the fintech space, right? So you just filter all of us out of there and start marketing to us. And with topics like taxes, it's brilliant.
It is brilliant. And, again, I think thinking about those pain points that people have is, for instance, if you're getting ready to retire and you're thinking about budgeting, how to prepare for, your taxes in retirement is a huge one. So that I've seen some people in the chat saying that they have done events, not too many though. Somebody said that they did one, let's see, on Roth or not to Roth, but the feedback was really good. One of the great things about these events, you can host it once, but repurpose it multiple times. So if you're thinking this just sounds like a lot of work, in the FMG library, I think you're probably seeing a trend here. We try to create content to help you no matter which of these scenarios you want to do. So we have in the FMG content library under our downloadables, this tax presentation already ready to go for you. So it has all of the updates for, let me go back to this particular slide. You can see expired dates for certain provisions. It's up to date with everything people would want to know for this year. So we already have had people putting it on just in the last month. When you want to utilize this particular piece of content, we also have all of the other pieces to go with it. So an editable Canva template, instructions on how to put it out. You can put it in the mail if you want and print it. You can obviously just create a landing page, which is what we suggest within our platform, and add a Zoom link if you want to do it digitally. But we make it so easy from everything from the slides and the script. I know Holistiplan offers some slide decks as well. There's no reason to not do these events as a great way to generate new leads.
Yeah, and yours is like on tax strategy and kind of that deeper dive. In our marketing toolkit, we have a whole deck on just like what is tax planning and why is it important. So literally starting at that foundational level for your clients to understand what you're offering and what you're doing. And like Sam mentioned, all of this is plug and play. You just rebrand it. You could leave the branding as is. So we make it really easy for you, the advisor, to be able to put these events on for your clients.
Yes, 100%. And so as we're talking about FMG, I promised you I'd show you just a little bit more. So again, if you log into FMG and you're a customer of ours, this is what you would see on the back end. So this is all routed through whatever compliance that you're already connected to. So for instance, we used LPL as an example before. Let's say you're with LPL or you're with Osaic or Cetera, any broker dealer, it is going to go through your compliance before anything will go live. Any email will go out, any social posts. We integrate with all of the major CRMs that everybody's using. You can add as many different groups as you want and segment your list, which is really great. And you can see here, I just put in the word tax in our library. We have so many different pieces of content and we're coming out with new ones all the time. We have a couple different types of content. So we have emails versus email sequences. So an email would just be like a one-off email. This one's about an update in the markets. And then an email sequence is multiple emails in a row. So you can see there's like delay 7 days in between. So you set it up once and then you don't have to think about it. It will just continue to go out to that group that you choose it for. You can see we even have email campaigns for centers of influence. So this is one, introducing yourself to local CPAs, saying you want to, potentially work with them. But there's all different kinds of emails in here. If you see this, do it for me. That is our service that we offer I've sort of mentioned before, and I'm just going to briefly go over it because we've gotten a lot of questions. So basically, we have our technology, but so many people have come to us and said, hey, we love what you guys are doing, but can someone just do it for me? I don't want to have to go into the system and choose the emails and add it to my website and do all these things. So we created this program where you are paired with a marketing concierge, and every month they will deliver this content calendars. So this was April's. And you can see there's certain blog posts going out on certain days, social posts, emails, and all of the content that we're recommending for that month is here. And your concierge will say, okay, here are the dates the blogs are going to go on your website. Here are the days these social posts are going to go out. You're able to say, yep, that looks good, ready to go. Or, hey, no, I don't want to use the Earth Day post. Or can we add a picture of my team and a local charity event we did on this day? So you're able to customize it with them. And then Susan, our CMO, and I add a marketing tip every single month, a podcast and a webinar outline, and a video script if you want to add that. And then we're constantly adding new clients into a welcome drip email series. And if you want to run some of these center of influence campaigns, for instance, partnering with a CPA, things like that, it's there too. So this is really meant for someone who really wants to ramp up their marketing, but they want somebody to do it for them. They do not want to go it alone. If you're interested in learning more about this, again, you could put it in the Q&A that you want to learn more about our Do It For Me program. But the email that you're all getting as a takeaway from today is just one example of the type of content that you will find in that program. But that is a little bit more about that for the folks that were interested. Okay, I think we're making great time here, and I see a lot of questions coming in. And we did already mention the Holistiplan marketing toolkit. So why don't I pause there and we can answer some questions.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm looking through the chat now, and then we can do the Q&A ones.
Yes.
Oh,
Awesome.
this one's good for you, Sam. If FMG is approved at the broker dealers, all the content approved for immediate distribution, or does it still need to be client approved first?
Yes, if FMG is approved at your broker dealer, then they are approving everything like the platform to be used. But every month we're adding in so much content. Some broker dealers do kind of pre-approve set pieces that you can deploy as is through our automated marketing, which I didn't show, but we have automated marketing that is a set it and forget it option that a lot of broker dealers will approve those pieces. And then if you did decide to edit anything, it would go back through compliance. So there's both options. Okay, awesome. You guys have so many good questions. I really appreciate it. When it comes to maybe some of the biggest questions, Tori, you're hearing from advisors about how to talk about this and how they offer it. Do you ever hear people having a hesitation of it'll be too time consuming to offer it to all of my clients? Is that ever a barrier for people? And how do you address that?
Yeah, I think adding technology in an advisor's tech stack is always cumbersome at first. I think advisors kind of get really caught up with like, I have to roll this out to everyone at the same time. And my take is if you kind of chunk your business out into different subsets and just start with a small group and then grow from there. So a lot of times we say, hey, look, like, yes, everyone should have tax planning because everyone has pays taxes and has a return, but maybe tackle your pre-retirees and retirees clients first, get them squared away, and then build from there, right? Then you could add your next gen, and then the millennials and all of that, right? So just build out from the retiree space and go from there. You don't have to roll it out to every single client right at once, because I think that's where it's like it gets very overwhelming. So
Yeah.
choose a subset of your business first, start with that little group, and then continue to add from there.
I love that advice. Absolutely. Okay, a couple people had questions. I'm just going to pull this back up. So the tax planning toolkit, you have to go into Holistiplan to get this. This is just some examples. Tori had showed that earlier, but it's in your dashboard under the resources. And then these were a couple examples. I just thought I'd throw this up there of like, what is tax planning, a follow-up email that you will find in that toolkit. So again, this is in the Holistiplan marketing toolkit. in the FMG library are other, pieces. And for people asking about the tax downloadable, if you type in the word tax here and then go to downloadables, you will find that slide deck. You do need, I believe it's a premium. It's for people on our premium packages. So not everybody has it, but here you'll see it right here, tax strategies presentation, and then the invite and everything's there. So that is where you can find that. And for somebody asking about groups, just under contacts, you can have manage contacts, manage groups, and you are able to make as many different groups as you want. So again, if you have a downloadable on your website of people who filled out that, common tax mistakes to avoid, everybody who fills that out can be put in one group. So then you're only sending that group maybe an email about something related to taxes. So it really allows you to segment and drip on that particular group of people who are interested in this topic, which you should be doing for all your marketing, right? Like not just tax related, but any marketing you're doing, the more you can segment, the more you can send highly specific educational content to that audience. Okay. We have so many good questions that are coming in. Let's see. Oh, Tori, any chance Holistiplan will integrate with Tamarack CRM?
I saw that. Again, working through that, I would love to hear, John, if you could write into info at or support at just to see what that integration you would want to have look and feel. We're always wanting to hear from our advisors first before we try and build something out, but it is on the roadmap. So hopefully we are doing you justice in what you're looking for. But if you wanted to kind of give some insight as to what you would like that integration to look like, that would be amazing.
Awesome. So I'm going to put up here, just because we have a lot of people asking questions, here are the emails for both of us. And I think we might have one more poll to put up. But if you want to learn more about FMG or Holistiplan, obviously everybody who put in that you want to be contacted by us, we will pull that from the chat and the Q&A and get in touch with you. And otherwise you can email us at marketing@fmgsuite.com or info@Holistiplan. But Aubrey, if you want to launch that last poll, just because so many people are not using FMG yet, if you want to learn more about that, please let us know and just say, yes, I want to learn more about it. And Tori, thank you so much. I learned a lot more about what you all can do with Holistiplan, and hopefully this is helping everybody think better about how they can market that tax planning help that they're providing.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for joining today. And Tori, enjoy the rest of T3 and we'll see you all soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.